In this video, we will be talking about antecedent interventions. The word antecedent is defined as preceding in time or order, so antecedent interventions are implemented prior to and independent of the target's behavior. Antecedent interventions may involve manipulating motivation, making the target's behavior more or less effortful, teaching an alternative behavior, or changing the environment. Have you ever experienced a lack of motivation to cook after a big meal, or the urge to drink more water after workout? An individual's motivation to engage in a behavior can change depending on various environmental factors. We can manipulate these factors to achieve behavioral changes. For instance, Joe often runs away from the dining table during dinner time. Mom finds out that Joe always gets snacks from Dad 1 hour before dinner. Since Joe is full from snacks, his motivation to eat dinner is decreased. As a solution, Joe's mom asks his dad not to give snacks, so Joe is more motivated for dinner. An individual's motivation to engage in a behavior can also be influenced by the difficulty of the activities. We will be more motivated to do our laundry in washer machines than with our hands, and we will be less motivated to do the dishes when there is a big stack than when there are just two. To encourage the individual to engage in a behavior, we want to make it easy and less effortful. On the other hand, if we want the individual to engage in a behavior less frequently, we want to make it more effortful. Imagine yourself on a diet. Will you be more likely to eat a chocolate bar when it's sitting right in front of you or when it's deep inside the cabinet? The same idea applies to this example. Amy's mom wants to increase Amy's fruit intake, so she always keeps washed and sliced oranges and strawberries in the refrigerator so they're more easily accessible. To avoid problem behavior, we can also teach the individual replacement behavior that serves the same function. Let's take a look at this example. Sam often climbs up the snack shelf for Oreos, which can result in serious physical injuries. His parents can't teach him how to use a stool so he can safely retrieve his snacks. Sam's parents can also rearrange the snacks so Sam does not need to climb the shelf. This will lead us to our next strategy, changing the environment. By making adjustments in the environment, we want to provide the individual more opportunities to succeed, as well as to avoid the occurrence of problem behavior. Think about a 2-year-old toddler walking around the house and crying after bumping into the corner of the table. To avoid this from happening again in the future, it may be helpful to install corner cushions on furniture. In this video, we will look at 3 types of antecedent interventions. They are non-contingent reinforcement, high probability instructional sequence, and functional communication. When implementing non-contingent reinforcement, we are delivering reinforcers independent of the individual's behavior. If the individual typically engages in the behavior to gain access to preferred activities or items, we can provide access in a predetermined schedule to avoid the occurrence of problem behavior. On the other hand, if the individual often engages in problem behavior to escape non-preferred activities, we can allow breaks throughout the task. We can also provide a variety of preferred leisure items or activities throughout the day to create a more inviting environment. When using high probability instructional sequence, we want to present 2 to 5 easy to follow instructions that you know the individual previously had success with before delivering the target's instruction. It is a non-aversive procedure for improving compliance, but we need to present requests rapidly, acknowledge any forms of compliance, and use potent reinforcers to be effective. Functional communication training teaches the individual appropriate ways to communicate that replace the problem behaviors. It provides the same reinforcers that maintain the problem behavior. For example, if the child always cries when he wants a cookie, teach him how to appropriately ask for a cookie. And it can take the form of vocalization, sign language, communication boards, picture cards, vocal output system, and others.